Maybe he was talking about another country.
I think at best he's referring to things like Madoff and this insider traders case yesterday. A guy got 11 years. Those kinds of things have always been going on. Those are individual speeding tickets on the interstate highway of commerce. That's all those are.
No. That what the people want to see is a perp walk. We want to see the heads of Goldman Sachs, of Chase, of these banks, of these firms, of the rating agencies that were part and parcel of this problem that caused the crash of '08. I can't believe that over 1,000 people have been arrested in the city for nonviolently standing up against this, and not a single perp walk, not a single arrest of these bankers. But that's only one. This protest isn't just about arresting bankers. I mean, this is, again, it's not just one fix. It's not just bringing back Glass-Steagall. It's not just let's increase taxes on the rich. I mean, yes, everyone agrees with all this, but we're just going to have a new problem, like you said, with the Bank of America with the debit card charges. They'll come up with something if we don't change the fundamental foundation of this economic system that's unfair, it's unjust, it's not democratic. People have had it, and this isn't going away.
And it's human beings who are working on Wall Street. And, you know, Mitt Romney's fond of calling corporations people. Well, if they are people, they have a corporate civic citizenship that needs to be brought to their decision making. I mean, one of the things I like about what you're saying is this demonstration is beyond politics. It's beyond past this bill or past that clause of this bill. Because you're not going to be able to anticipate what these companies will do next as long as they have absolutely no sense of corporate citizenship.
And as long as they can buy the politicians that run for Congress. As long as they can control that, it's a rigged game. And the 99% who are not part of this, who didn't cause this, who've been the victims of this, I'll tell you what's so great about being down there. You have all kinds of people. And nobody's talking about, should abortion be legal? Should I have a right to own a gun? You know, do I care if those two gay guys are married over there? All those social issues that those on top have had to divide working people with over the years, that's like kind of, who cares about any of that right now? We care about getting our country back in our hands and out of the hands of the kleptomaniacs who have formed a kleptocracy. That's our democracy. It used to be our country, and people want this back, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And I just want to encourage anybody who's watching this out there to get involved. There's Occupy things going on in cities all over the country. It's small towns. Niles, Michigan, small town where I come from, has 11,000 population. Had 100 people out there the other day. 100 people in just an 11,000 population town. It's going on in places you don't even know about. It's not in the news media. Everybody out there, get involved. This is the time. If you've sat on the couch for a long time and said, I'm sick and tired of this, these politicians, these fat cats, this is the time to quit complaining and get up and get out the door and get involved in this. You'll meet all kinds of people. They're your neighbors. There's all kinds of people there. Be part of this. And tomorrow is the big day. I mean, all around the world, October 15th. Mm-hmm. Demonstrations, not just in hundreds of cities around the country, but all over the world in support of what's going on with Occupy Wall Street. So this is a big day tomorrow, big day in New York, big day across the country, big day to go out and be an American.
Occupy Wall Street has cut its first commercial, which of course Occupy Wall Street cannot afford to get on this network, so we're going to play it right now in the segment.
Thank you.
Let's give them a free 30 seconds right here. Let's watch it.
I want to see more serious political conversations starting to happen.
I want corporations out of the government, and I want people back in.
I want peace rather than militarization.
I want the top wealthiest Americans to be taxed higher and that money to go to education.
I want economic justice.
I want a greater regulation of the banks and the markets.
I want my kids to have a job and health care.
I want true democracy, but 99% of us don't have it anymore.
The media's been asking the question from the start, what do they want?
Oh, there you go.
There's the answer.
Believe me, yes, all you have to do is go down there and you can get the answer quickly. You've been down there. This show's been down there. It's clear what people want. That's a beautiful, and you know what that spot costs really to make? Nothing. This is, again, what you can do in your town. Can I just talk directly again to people? You can make these little spots in your town. You can put it up on the internet. Send it to 10 friends and tell them to send it to 10 others. Now 100 seen it. They'll send it to 10, 1,000 have seen it. You've made this spot that's been seen by 1,000 people. Everybody is affected by this. Everybody has a story, whether they've lost their health insurance, whether they've lost their job, whether they've got a student loan that they're paying off still after 20 years. I mean, on and on and on. The boot has been on people's necks for too long. They want the boot off.
Guess who doesn't get it? Herman Cain, who had
number 9,
who in
number
this
9.
nice, calm newspaper, Wall Street Face-Off, had an op-ed piece today in the New York Post where he says, capitalism from Wall Street to Main Street is the economic engine that's made the United States the superpower it is. I have a hard time imagining what these protesters think will come of this, that Wall Street execs will come running out of their offices to write them a check. Rather than protest against Wall Street, those camped out in the streets should examine their own failures and take a hard look in the mirror. This is the guy who says, if you're poor, blame yourself.
Right. Well, he's running in the wrong century. That would have sounded great maybe back in the 1800s, but those days are over. And it's when you and I were growing up, there were rich people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I seem to remember they lived pretty well, didn't they?
They had millions of dollars.
They had millions of dollars.
They didn't have billions of dollars.
And you grew up where? You grew up in Boston. In Boston. Okay, yeah. so they had summer homes out on Cape Cod.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And in Michigan, they lived in Bloomfield Hills or Grosse Pointe, and
they drove to their summer homes. They didn't get there in private jets.
Yeah, but they because they had to pay 50 or 60 or 70% in taxes. They paid a lot in taxes, and yet they lived a great life, didn't they? And my dad, who built spark plugs at General Motors, other dads, moms, nobody really begrudged them too much because, well, they built the factories, they gave us jobs, and they entered into an agreement with the working class. And this was the agreement, Lawrence. If you, the working people, if you work hard and we prosper, you prosper. They changed it to you work hard, we prosper, now you lose your job. And they totally flushed the American dream down the toilet, and patriotic people around the country are standing up against their announcement, saying they want it back. They want, and no one would begrudge you for if you build us a factory and create jobs, and you want to have your summer home on Cape Cod. Go and do what you people do out there, right? Because at least when we were growing up, our dads could send the kids to college, had a roof over everyone's head. My dad, spark plug worker, 4 weeks paid vacation, full medical, no deductibles, full dental, the whole. I mean, this is what built this country. These people have just gone about trying to destroy the country for 30 years since Reagan fired the air traffic controllers. It's been a downward slide, and this is the end. This is the end. I knew this would happen sooner or later. I knew people would rise up, and you're going to see this now continue all over the country.
Michael Moore, author of Here Comes Trouble. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, Michael.
Thank you very much for staying on this issue. We love you for it.
We've got to have you come back.